Hey everyone, this is Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the e-commerce and Amazon FBA podcast. Today we got some big news for you, and we're also going to be talking about finding the perfect 3PL. And we also want to know how your Prime Day has been going. Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear how it's going for you. Okay, so welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the e-commerce and Amazon FBA podcast.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm.
All right, like I said, today we got some big news as well. We got Afolabi coming back from Honu and talking about finding the perfect 3PL. Plus, we're going to be talking about Prime Day. And I'm not sure, how long we'll spend on Prime Day. It's already here. Just wanted to know how you're doing and maybe some of your strategies. So we got a lot packed for you today, but let's get into who we have as a guest. So today's guest is my buddy and also co-founder in Honu Worldwide. He has 20 years experience. He has been learning and developing the best logistics strategies, relationships, and tactics to streamline and improve profitability for our clients. And I say our again, for complete transparency, I am a partner in Honu. He's also helped several 7- and 8-figure brands scale rapidly by buying smart from Asia and the US. So please welcome, after the sponsorship, please welcome Afolabi Oyerokun. Okay, so let's get into a live read. Hey, Amazon sellers ever faced with account suspensions, ASIN hiccups, or IP headaches? Introducing Seller Basics, your Amazon accounts guardian. With just $99 per month, Seller Basics offers a dedicated team to shield your business from these challenges. Plus, this membership offers free legal consultations from seasoned e-commerce attorneys, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel with just a month's notice. View Seller Basics as your Amazon account's health plan. Check them out at sellerbasics.com. And here's the disclaimers. Seller Basics isn't an insurer or law firm. Consultations come from independent firms. Results may vary, and membership is needed before events leading to claims. And don't forget, terms apply. Okay, where's Kelsey?
Hey.
Hey, Kelsey.
That's me. How's it going?
I'm doing fine. I hear you're going camping.
I am, yeah. In a couple days, I'm going to be up in Algonquin Park, and looking forward to it. See some nature, doing a big portage too, so it's going to be.
So I don't know if people know this, but Algonquin Park is probably bigger than some states. Like it's huge.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful, but just like we're going portaging, so one of the portages is going to be like a mile long. And we have to bring water specifically for one person. So we probably will have to trek several times back and forth bringing it. So it's going to be a long trip, but it's going to be fun. I know this is Afolabi's favorite pastime. So
I can't see him camping. Glamping maybe, but that's even with a twist. Nope, the man does not like the outdoors. So anyway, let's talk about the newsletter. That was an absolutely that was a scary incident, but it was weird because back in the day, I don't know if a lot of people know about New York. It was wicked. Like they talk about it today, but if you walk, especially where we were at the Tudor Inn, which is on 42nd, it was a bad neighborhood. Like people were getting killed left, right, and center or mugged. If you think of Times Square was just a bunch of hookers and peep shows. That was it. It wasn't like it was today. But realization was I almost got shot. And, I had to think. I didn't know what to do. So I just pretended I had a gun and pretended I was going to use it on these guys with a few choice words.
Yeah. We included those choice words in the newsletter, and if you want to check
Oh,
it
did
out,
you?
no, we blanked it out, but you can check it
Oh,
out.
okay.
I dropped the links in the comment. It's very
Well,
similar to what's it? Die Hard, the Yippee Ki
yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing I was thinking about during my probably 2 years of being with this promoter, I was doing all their promotion, camera work, and your mom actually came with one of the tours as a medical assistant, though, which was kind of funny. And
Oh,
I've
fun.
got a bunch of New York City stories that I'm going to be telling in the next few episodes. I think I sent them to you already.
Okay, yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah, I know there's one time where my mom kicked out a very notable, I believe was it a
Yeah.
gangster?
Yes, it was. And I think that's the next story. So we'll leave it at that.
All right. So, anyways, I want to say a quick hello to Steve. We have Simon here. Happy Wednesday. And Marina. Good to see everyone. Let us know if you have any questions or comments during today's episode. And also want to give a little shout out to our latest sponsor, Walmart Marketplace. You'll be seeing their banners during this episode. And if you're interested in signing up, we have a link in the description too. I believe there's like a 50%.
It's a great discount. Yeah, some great discounts, rewards. Yeah. So you can check that out.
Hello, Drip. Good to see you. And I think that's it.
Okay. So let's bring the man on. Afolabi, how are you?
Hey, how are you, sir?
Good. So you're not a camper, huh?
No. I'm from Nigeria. We don't do extreme sports. We don't go around in the bush looking for nothing and looking for, we just play it safe, chill, relax, have a great time.
Right. Okay.
I don't do mountain climbing. I don't do bungee jumping. I don't do camping. I don't do outdoors. I don't do stuff like that. I like to stay in my house, all cozied up, watching TV or whatever. But no camping. No. I don't like flies flying all over me and stuff like that. No, even my little son hates flies and bugs and stuff. I'm like, yeah, you're like me.
Yeah, well, don't come to Canada, especially in spring. Sorry, guys, it is hot in the house today. I don't know what's going. I don't think the air conditioning is going. But all right, let's get started. I got some big news. Afolabi's got some big news. We talked about it briefly the other day, but our warehouse is officially open. So I wanted to talk about that today. We'll talk about that portions of it and why it's going to be different. What are some of the services? Also get into Prime Day. But Kelsey, I don't know if you could bring up the image of it. We've been working, what has it been, a year and a half?
Yep, almost 2 years now.
Yeah. So we'll get some aerials of it, but we're very proud of it. We offer some very unique services, and you guys know most of the time what the services are, but I just want to go over, and one of the winners today actually is going to have one hell of a prize package. So let's, first of all, I think it's important to go over the 3PLs and what a good 3PL is, why and what to look for. So maybe let's start out there and we'll get deeper and deeper into this. Now, we're going to be generic here. When we're talking about this, I wanted to bring this on because it was the launch of our 3PL, and we could talk a bit about that too. But let's be generic in the answers. So first of all, people searching for 3PLs, and there might be, and I see Simon and Marina, Drips on here, Rad's on here. They might have 3PLs. They might be at Honu. They might not be. But what should you be looking at? Like, why are some people thinking they might be getting good service when really they might be paying through, paying quite a bit more?
Yes. Well, as everybody knows, the face of Amazon and e-commerce is changing. You can see even Amazon doing the AWD, getting into, the 3PL business. They call it AWD, but we all know that it's more of a 3PL. that they're trying to use the warehouses they leased. They couldn't, during COVID, they couldn't keep up with it anymore. It was all empty. So they were trying to say, you know what can we do with these warehouses, because we still have a lease on them. So they started, I think that's one of the reasons why they started AWD. So we see Shein coming up, Temu coming up. Amazon is changing drastically from what it was 4 or 5 years ago. So some people are even saying, oh, you don't need 3PL anymore. Just ship it straight from
I've heard that.
or stuff like that, or just use AWD, AGL, whatever works for you is fine. But there are different models in selling. There are different structure. It depends on what kind of business you're doing. So in looking for 3PL, I think you have to understand what kind of business you're in, what kind of business model you have. If you're selling multi-channel, you would still need a 3PL. Why?
So, sorry, Afolabi. I've also heard that, people think AWD is perfect, but we've talked about this. And yeah, go ahead and do that, but you're probably going to end up paying more.
Yes,
a lot more.
Yes, I was hearing from Amy Weiss recently that they punched the numbers, and AWD is actually more expensive than 3PL. It's also a trap. Amazon sucks you. That's their MO from the very beginning. You know that's what Amazon does. They suck you in. After you get comfortable and you get rid of all your providers, then they start raising their prices, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. They are very patient. They can wait as much as 3 years to 5 years before starting to collect whatever. Once they see that you're used to that system, you have given control to them, they will start raising their prices, and it's going to be too late. But AWD, what I've heard, that many people are having a lot of problems with it. There are severe delays. If your products don't sell, how do you get it back? How do you transfer it from AWD warehouse back to you? What's the cost of doing that? All those things is just Amazon isn't clear on those things, and these are real life scenarios you should really think about before you end up surrendering your life to AWD. They're actually.
So I wonder how that works. So if you have let's say that you have built variations, okay, 5, 10 different variations, and it's the 80-20 rule. So you're finding out that 2 are selling really well, maybe 2 are okay, and probably want to get rid of 3 or 4 of them. Are you able just to bring them back, or do you have to pay the removal fee or the disposal
I think you have
fee?
to pay the removal fee, and it's not cheap.
Yeah.
Then you have to move it to your warehouse or your garage or your living room, because if you already said you don't need 3PLs anymore, where are you going to put it? See, where are you going to put all these things that you're about to remove? So I still feel that, especially you're doing Walmart, right? If you want to do Walmart, you want to do other marketplaces, I think you can still supplement with a 3PL. But answering your question, what do you look for in a 3PL? I think you have to look for a 3PL that actually understands e-commerce. These are not just warehouses. So many people, old school warehouses are popping up, 100-year-old buildings popping up and saying, hey, we are 3PL. They don't know what 3PL is all about. It's not just having a warehouse. You have to understand e-commerce. You have to understand Amazon. So many times people send stuff to our 3PL and we're like, that's wrong. You can ship this box to Amazon. They didn't know. And there's nothing, I'm not blaming them. But if we don't have experience with Amazon or e-commerce, there's no way we could have spotted those errors, and it could have resulted in serious penalties from Amazon. So one, your 3PL should have a good knowledge of Amazon and should have good knowledge of e-commerce in general.
Can you give me a couple of examples of that?
Labels. So this morning, my wife called me that we have a customer that wants to put, it's a supplement, and she wants to put a FNSQ on his supplement bottle, and his FNSQ is only 1 inch wide. And I'm like, that's trouble. Amazon has guidelines for FNSQs.
Yep.
You can't make it one. You can't make it 1 inch by 3/4 tall. Just because she says she doesn't want the FNSQ label to disfigure the bottle. I'm like, Amazon doesn't care about whether it disfigures your bottle or not. They care about can they scan it? If they hold your bottle, can their workers scan it? If they can't scan it, they'll ding you and they'll send it back to you, or they charge you 50 cents or more to relabel it. So that's one way. The second way is you're shipping oversized boxes, or you're shipping boxes that are not even Amazon worthy. Like, I have a client from Europe, and he sends all these boxes, and we got the boxes. Like, this product cannot even make it to Amazon without falling into pieces. It was so flimsy, and he's selling something very fragile, and it was so flimsy, and even by the time it arrived from Europe to our 3PL, it's already almost falling apart. And we were like, no, we can't send this to Amazon. You're gonna lose a lot of money. He did not obey. I mean, he did not listen to us. He says, no, still send it. I want to send it. Now he's out of business. And we have over 60 pallets sitting there waiting to be destroyed because Amazon sent all of his products back. People were giving him 1-star reviews like crazy. Oh, this is so bad. This is a product. By the time I receive my product, it's already broken, it's defective, and he stopped replying our calls, our emails, because he was so ashamed, because we warned him, like, no, you can't do this. No e-commerce or Amazon, you cannot send this to Amazon. You got to rebox everything here. So your 3PL has to know all these, loopholes, or all these potential danger problems that you might fall into if you send products this way to Amazon. We know all the label requirements, the transparency labels, all those things. You have to make sure that your 3PL is well versed in e-commerce, and especially Amazon. If you're selling on Amazon, if you're selling on Walmart, you have to make sure your 3PL knows a lot about prepping products for Walmart as well.
Okay. Now, for other services, what are some things that complement the 3PL service?
A lot. We found out that by listening to our customers and different events, I'm listening to what people are doing, we see a big shift into wholesaling. We see a lot of people actually moving away or supplementing or diversifying their Amazon portfolio and doing some wholesale. What is wholesale? It just means that you're selling branded products that already have reputable or reputation in the industry, like you're selling Nike or Adidas or Fruit of the Loom or Ains and stuff like that. You're selling it on Amazon. I was asking this guy, Michael from Smart Scout, on the cruise. I said, Michael, what's the difference between wholesale and private label? He's like, oh, that's easy. He says, with wholesale, you are chasing demand. With private label, you are trying to create a demand. It says wholesalers are finding out that it could be way more profitable and easier to sell wholesale than private label. So we're seeing all this shift, and we have been preparing for it. So we are, especially in the new facility we're moving into, we designed it and built it from scratch by ourselves to follow a certain model. So it's very, very good for wholesale modeling, whereby we will relabel, we will kit, we will bundle products, existing brands product. It could be Nike products, it could be any reputable brands. People send it to us. We would pack it together, rebrand it, relabel it, transparency label, and stuff like that. So these are other added services that your 3PL should be able to help you with, because Amazon is changing and they'll continue to change. You see how they want to compete with Temu and Shein. And how they try to do that is to go and be doing FBC, fulfillment by China. Fulfillment by Amazon China, whereby they want to be selling products directly from China and fulfilling from China. But so your 3PL should be, talk to them. They should be well versed in adding all these other little services that would make your business very competitive against market trends.
Yeah, and I guess if you're going and you're scouting out, looking for a new 3PL, I'm sure you're going to be checking out more than one. So let's say you check out 5. You might want to visit the facility. You might want to, if they have clients, you might want to ask, if they could check out the clients, see what they have to say. This is such a vital part to any business, any private label or wholesale business, that you want to make sure that it's reputable, because there's a lot of smoke and mirrors in every arena, right? But you want to make sure that what you see is really what you get. And by going and talking and asking a few questions. In fact, I didn't ask you about this before you came on the podcast, but I know that we used to have a checklist. Was that a checklist for 3PLs?
Yes, we can make. We
got that.
Yes, we have it. We have
Okay.
it, and we can make it available for people to download. Maybe at the bottom of this video, maybe they'll be able to download that checklist as well. I'll make it available.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was for sourcing or if
No,
it was
3PL.
It was 3PL, right? So, yes. Kels, if you can make note of that, this is an awesome checklist. This is way before we decided. We always had a 3PL service, but this was way before we even looked at building this new facility. But I think it's like 15 or 20 good questions to ask if you're looking.
Correct.
So that is something. I'm glad I remembered that. I'm old and I remembered it. Wow, that's really good. Now, I like the part that you were talking about kitting. And in case we kind of glazed over that, and with the wholesale part, you were talking about Nike. So with the kitting or with the bundling, what you're talking about is you could either have your product, or if you go out into wholesale and you get a couple of exclusive agreements, or just, maybe you're chasing a few different types of products and you're allowed to sell them. Okay. Correct. Let's make sure that's clear.
Correct.
But you can bundle these all together.
Yes.
And sell them on Amazon and come up with a very unique package that's in demand. Correct. And I know Sean Hart, now it's a little bit different concept, but let's say that you were looking at selling this expensive cutting board. Okay. He uses this as an example, but to get people to the cutting board, he uses this very inexpensive pizza cutter. Well, in his example, it leads you have to buy that, and then you can go over to but in the example I'm talking about, you can bundle the two together, completely different brands, and just people will buy them because it's popular. They need this plus this, maybe even plus this, or different types of spices, that are coming from different companies. So it is something to really take a look at. Private label is not the only way to make money on Amazon.
Correct.
And so anyways, that's it. Next, now we're talking about a couple of other services that 3PLs can have, but co-packing is definitely one. We want to talk about what about inspection, controls,
returns a lot. So before we go into co-packing, I know a lot of 3PLs cannot handle co-packing because it has a different flow. And that's one of the things that we built this new facility for. But before we go into co-packing, a lot of brands, they would like to send returns back and have a 3PL be able to receive the returns, look at the stains, look at the smell it, rebox it, make sure all the components are in there, because sometimes people buy stuff on Amazon, they take some components out and return it, unfortunately. Or people buy a $50 product and they return it with the $20 product or $10 product. So you need your 3PL to be able to receive returns, accept returns, check, process it, make sure that the returns are your product and not cheaper versions from or knockoffs. Also to check that there's nothing wrong with them. Most of these returns we get, they're in perfect shape. It's brand new, but maybe there's a little tear in the box, and Amazon just says no, we're not taking it. Now, if you're returning products on Amazon, you'll be surprised the kind of questions Amazon will ask you these days. The first question is, did you open the box? Did you take out the product and used it and put it back in the box? They're asking you that question so that they can direct your returns to the appropriate places. So what they do is they don't really check all the returns anymore. By the kind of answer, the buyer that is returning the product, the way you answer that return product answer, that's the way Amazon is going to treat the return. So if I'm returning something on Amazon and I say, oh, I didn't open it, how are you sure I'm not lying that I didn't open it? So Amazon takes that and say, oh, they didn't open it, put it back into the new pile. You don't need to check anything. But if they say, I took it out, I opened the box and I put it back in, Amazon can deem it unsellable. Whereas there's nothing wrong with this thing. The person probably opened the box, checked it out and said, nah, this is not what I want, and closed it back. Never opened the inner boxes, never tear out anything. Amazon still tags it unsellable. So we get all these unsellable items, but they are in very good condition. They're brand new. So your 3PL should be able to help you sort this out, make sure that all these products are in very good condition, and help you relabel it and send it back to FBA for you.
Yeah, it's pretty important, because I'll give you an example. And I know Simon, I know Marsha, I know most of the people probably heard me talk about this before, but my friend Paul Barron, he does swim diapers. Do you know this story, Afolabi?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
know. You know this story?
Okay. No, I don't know the story, but I know the guy.
This is the biggest reason why you have to inspect and not let Amazon just go and resell as new.
Oh, did they return it with poop in it?
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, it was
no.
a used. They returned it as a new item, and there was like poo stains, and they sent it out as new. And the amount, like Paul actually said, the amount that his business dropped as soon as that review went out with the photos, and it hurt him for a while, but that's what happened. Now, going to a 3PL, any 3PL, they should be checking that, and that would never have happened. Now, it is the bottom of the hour, so I'm going to, first of all, how's everybody's Prime Day? Are you seeing a bump in sales? I know I was out there just before I came down. I was buying a few things, candies, lots of candies and chocolate syrup. But anyway, let us know. How was it? Also, guys, if you have a strategy that you might have used. I know Kevin King came on a little while ago and we were talking about different strategies. I've got a lot of strategies that we've put into this podcast before. Not sure if you used any of them, but let us know how things went. Okay. And we have got an incredible giveaway because of the grand prize. And Afolabi, I don't know if you want to talk about this.
Oh, why not? So
okay,
for everyone here, there's a one grand prize. We are giving away one free pallet storage for a whole year at our new facility, just for new customers alone, new signups, one. And on top of that, the beard guy says we need to make it better. So we are throwing in a $500 tariff terminator order. So we would help you check your product. One product will check your tariffs to make sure you're paying the right tariff. If you're not, we will help you reclassify. That's a $500 service that is being included. And guys,
monitoring.
good. Let's do one more. So right now, this is the first time we're making this public. Our tariff terminator is officially an app, and also we have included product monitoring. So we're throwing in a free product monitoring on top of all these offers. What is product monitoring? I think the best way I can explain product monitoring, it's not so sexy in the Amazon world, but it's better, we all know. So right now, if your product has been flagged by the customs, or your supplier has been flagged, or your material that they're using for your product has been flagged, and you don't know, and you continue to import that product, the moment you get to the border, the customs will stop your product. And what? They will destroy it. They will not let you bring it in. They will destroy it. So that's one of the reasons why we introduced product monitoring into Tariff Terminator. That means we're monitoring all the governmental agencies. We're monitoring countervailing. We're monitoring anti-dumping. We're monitoring FDA, CSPC. We're monitoring EPA. We're monitoring DEA. We're monitoring over 27 agencies that could flag your product. And you will not know. Unfortunately, there's no way for you to know that your product is being flagged or that your supplier has been flagged. You can't know unless you really, really dig deep to find out. And your supplier will not tell you. You bring the product to the port, they will stop it and they will destroy it. 2 weeks ago, a guy called me, or somebody introduced a guy to me to see if I could help him.
This is a whole second segment of the podcast, but you're spoiling it.
I wanted to explain that product monitoring because somebody may be saying, well, I don't need that. Oh, you need it. I'll tell you this story. So this guy, this is just 2 or 3 weeks ago, he said the customs stopped his container since December of last year because one ingredient he used, one fabric, actually, it was a fabric. One fabric he used in making his product was flagged for forced child labor. For that reason, they stopped this container. He was paying demurrage. He was being fined. He was appealing it. They rejected his appeal several times. After 6 months of his container at the yard, they sent it back to China. That was the first time I'm going to hear that CBP actually could send the container back to China. They said that's the only thing we can do to help you. That container is not coming in here. Send it back to China, and he was able to send it back to China. After several fees, after several penalties and stuff like that. So that's why it's so important. My container has been seized before at the port of Jacksonville. It's not pretty. They're not joking. So we're adding a free 1-year monitoring of your product on top of it. If you're the grand prize winner, we're adding it on top of this so that you can get alerts if your product has been flagged. Before you place an order for the next batch of your product, you will get that alert and say, oh, the CBP, which is Customs and Border Protection, they have flagged your product for anti-dumping. You cannot import it. Or if you import it, it will be 200% duty on top of it. So what do you do in those cases? We will advise you to probably find another country to import from. Especially kitchen cabinets, granite stones, something like that. They carry almost 200% tariff because of anti-dumping laws that is affecting them here. So with monitoring, you will get that alert and say, don't bring that product now. Wait or go to another country to go and find another supplier. if you bring it from China, you're not going to bring it. You're not going to be able to bring it into into the US. So those are the things we have for everybody, for the grand prize winner today.
So one of the things I wanted to just add on to that, something that you didn't mention, and it's the scariest part. Forget about it going back to China. If you're using the wrong HTS code, the government will go back the life of the product.
Yep.
And not only are you going to pay the proper HTS, the tax, but you'll also be penalized. Now, I don't know what that penalty is, but I can guarantee you it will be a hefty fine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a scare tactic. One of the ways we wanted to do this to show people it wasn't a scare tactic is, and you didn't mention this, you could just send us your HTS code. And if it's correct, we just send it back to you just saying, congratulations. And we'll give you a monitoring if you want. And monitoring is dirt cheap. I forget what it is for 10 ASINs. What is it? $99 for the year.
Yeah.
So something like that. So you'd get that. But then if you needed us to search out the right tariff code, that's the only time that you would pay. And if we could not find anything cheaper or could not save you money, or if you're using the wrong one, we got you the right one, then it's $500. But that's completely up to you. We just wanted to make sure that, first of all, you're doing you have the right one, because it's killer. So that was actually going to be the whole part of the next section of the podcast, but we could actually talk about that a bit more later on. So if you're interested in this, the grand prize is all of that put together. So the free for a pallet in the new warehouse, the ASIN, send your, I'm going to say, sorry, Afolabi, send up to 10 ASINs. Okay. And we'll check them for you. The monitoring, all of that, plus one tariff terminator, and that's the prize for the day. Mm-hmm. Plus, you got to hear all this other information.
Yeah, we'll monitor up to 10 ASINs for you for a whole year as part of the grand prize.
Okay, now I got to do.
There's something you mentioned before. Maybe if you want me to talk about it later, you mentioned co-packing. Do you want us to talk about it?
Let me just do this read, and then we'll come back. Okay, so we're keeping on Honu today. So we're going to do a live read for Honu. Honu Worldwide is having their grand opening of their brand new warehouse. Honu is accepting new customers. This warehouse is located in Wind Gap, Pennsylvania, just 90 minutes from New York, New Jersey, Oceanport. It's perfect for sellers needing quick access to major shipping lanes. This brand new warehouse has 10,000 pallet storage capacity and perfect for warehousing, e-com order fulfillment, co-packing, and kitting. And don't miss out. Don't miss out and secure your spot. You can also email Honu Worldwide today at savings@Honu, that's HONU worldwide.com. And don't forget to mention the Beard Guy sent you. Now we're back.
Awesome. Two things real quick on the 3PL that people should ask for. People always say, oh, I'm looking for a cheap 3PL. People are always looking for the cheapest price. But I want to let you know that you always pay for, you always get what you pay for. Not all 3PLs are the same. Carlos Alvarez sent me an email. It must have been a month ago. He said he was introducing our 3PL to somebody. He said, oh, meet Afolabi with an Honu 3PL. And then at the very bottom of his email says they are not the cheapest 3PL, but in all my work, in all my e-commerce experience, they are the most efficient 3PL, but they're not cheap. I'm like, okay, I like that. So why are some 3PLs cheaper or lower cost than the others? It's based on many factors. So you can't even use price to judge a 3PL. You just have to use efficiency and word of mouth from their current customers. Make sure you talk to their current customers, see what the experience is. Don't use price to disqualify a 3PL. Why? Because some 3PLs that may be located in California may be more expensive because the cost of living there is so high. So they have to pay their employees really high to sustain cost of living. The lease rate for their warehouse may be higher than on the East Coast. So there's so many reasons why a 3PL may cost higher than the other. But I think above all, look at efficiency, look at effectiveness, look at how fast they reply your emails. If you call them, do they respond immediately? If you're in trouble, would they respond to you and stuff like that? So make sure you look at that before you pick your 3PL. The last question you asked was co-packing. Not all 3PLs could do co-packing. In fact, co-packing is probably not part of a 3PL, 3PL duty or 3PL services. We just built co-packing. We built a new warehouse with co-packing included. Co-packing just means that we can fill a bottle with liquid, with lotion, with creams. Now we can make creams. We can do homeopathic. We have about 70 formulations of homeopathic remedies, anti-aging skincare, so many proprietary technology that we've been developing for about 5 years now, and it's all made in Canada and the US. And I've been talking about made in US products for a long time. I'm so happy we are actually able to do it. These are all products that are being made and produced and bottled here locally by us in the US. And we are very soon, we're going to, I think next week, we're going to make an announcement and only receive very limited number of sellers that we would make this proprietary technology available to, because we don't want competition. We want to protect these sellers. So we're looking for sellers that say, look, I can move volume. Let me private label one of your formulation for me because I know I can move volume. So we will only open the door to 3 to 5 sellers to private label to, and we shut it down. We will not make it for any other seller.
These are all premium as well. They're
premium products. Premium products. Because I have always been even though I buy a lot of products from China, but I still believe that the future of ways to scale faster would be to onshore. I believe in onshoring, making products in North America. I will still pick US and Canada over Mexico for now. I'm still watching Mexico to see what's going on. But right now, we're making products in Canada and we're making products in the US. So if you know of any seller that is really, they know what they're doing, they think they can move products, millions of products locally made, we would be able to do private label of this proprietary technology for you.
Yeah, and this is just to be clear, this is our own 17 products that will white label for people. One of the other things that I want to mention is not only North American, but North American packaged. So
Correct.
we have packaging, digital packaging that we can have done, produced, plus the sourcing components.
Correct.
So if you're stuck, or for the bottles, you want to do something different, like an airless bottle or something like that, we have the ability, in case you guys don't know, part of when we first got out of the gate, we were a sourcing company. And then COVID hit. We found out that Amazon sellers can be difficult when trying to source smaller sellers. It would be, wow, some of the questions that come up, but we do it for our clients. So that's about it. Kels, unless you have anything else, then we'll get to these questions.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we actually have quite a few comments and questions here. So from Rad, can your 3PL help bring products, logistics from China?
Yes. So we offer turnkey, and that's part of the checklist that you're going to get when this video finally publishes, we're going to put a checklist. If your 3PL can offer you turnkey, so we'll go get your product from your supplier and do the inspection, do everything, and bring it to, either our warehouse or anywhere you want it. You don't have to use our 3PL. We can still arrange all those turnkey solutions for you. We'll pick it up, inspect it, ship it, clear it, warehouse it, and fulfill, send it to FBA or to fulfill it in other channels for you.
Okay, and this one is a bigger question, so I'm going to have to remove it after. But hello, to ensure you can fulfill a 2-day delivery promise for palletized or case-packed goods in specific areas, are you able to restrict orders from regions where this delivery time frame cannot be met through Seller Central? Additionally, does your warehouse support Seller Fulfilled Prime?
That's a really, really good question. I think in Seller Central, you can restrict regions, and you can do time frames from where you want to ship stuff to, where you want orders to come from. Another thing I think you can do outside of Seller Central is you can change the shipping price for different regions, the shipping number of days to get to different regions. And yes, we can do Seller Fulfill Prime, but in the Seller Central, I'm very sure you can restrict different regions, and you can change the number of days it would take for shipments to arrive in those regions. So that if you can't do 2-day delivery to some regions, you will say for these regions, for this state, I think you can pick states, different states. For this state, you can only do 3-day or 4-day or 5-day delivery. But for these other days, for these other states, you can do 2-day delivery to them. Yes, I think you can do that in Seller Central. I can check for you, after this recording to make sure that nothing has changed in the Seller Central.
Okay, and the rest are our comments, so I'm just going to read some of these from Simon. Wholesale is the way to grow your brand and expand sales.
Yep.
Wholesale is definitely more profitable than Amazon, and it is way easier.
Yep.
And then Simon also says wholesale is far easier to forecast the sales. Therefore, cash flow forecasting and inventory forecasting is more manageable. This in turn makes 3PL space manageable, makes cost planning easier too.
Yes, and we do have access to a lot of products. So in case you are in the wholesale space, you can send us a private message, and we can start sending you some different deals, wholesale deals. Sometimes we get fruit of the loom, sometimes we get ins, sometimes we get branded products, Nikes, but you have to do the ungating by yourself. But we do, once in a while, we do get access to some really good deals that you may be able to, we will be able to bundle and kit it for you in our warehouse. So if you're interested in that, if you're in wholesale, you can DM us or send us a message at savings@onu worldwide. We will be able to send you some deals. We don't sell it ourselves. We just concentrate on fulfillment and 3PL. I don't sell any of those things. So I would not compete with you.
So the other thing, we've got Walmart up there. So we're talking about, we can act as a fulfillment center, not only for your Shopify, for Amazon, so FBA, but also getting your product over to WFS or Seller Fulfilled. So keep that in mind. It's just, you hear us talk about Amazon, but Walmart, more and more and more people are selling on Walmart, and we can take care of a multi-channel fulfillment for you.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right. And from Marsha, we use a 3PL in Phoenix, which employs great folks with physical disabilities. It is heartwarming to see these folks treated so well, so loved, and so respectful. Happy to share if you need work done here. They also do printing for us. Love, love, love them. That's
beautiful.
Awesome, Marsha.
Beautiful.
customers steal the batteries or wall plugs and return it. Amazon does not check. There's no recourse for this from Amazon.
No. You know,
Oh, sorry, Rad.
yeah, it's Amazon. You enjoy Amazon if you are the buyer. If you're the consumer, Amazon is beautiful, perfect, the best thing since sliced bread. But if you're the seller, no. Unfortunately, you have to eat up that cost. I see we get a pile, a pile of products. They were missing an item, wrong product was sent back. It is unbelievable how much people steal stuff on Amazon and return junk. Sometimes we get empty boxes. They just return empty boxes. They return their pillowcases, crazy stuff. And Amazon doesn't check. They don't check. Unfortunately, they say they do, but they don't.
Okay, just a couple more comments here. From Simon, do most 3PLs have software that integrates with Amazon, Shopify, eBay, Walmart, and other marketplaces?
The little ones don't, which is a problem. But the mid-size ones should have it, because the software is very expensive for 3PL. So the little 3PLs will not be able to afford it. Some of them go as much as, could be as little as $2,000 a month to up to $10,000 a month. So not all 3PLs have it, but they should have it so that you can integrate with all these channels. We have it. We use a software called Extensive, and we can connect to about 110 marketplaces and pull your orders and send inventory counts and sync across all these channels.
Okay, and finally from Rad, congratulations, Norman Afolabi, on the launch of your new 3PL. Your hard work and dedication have paid off, and I do not doubt your new venture will succeed. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rad. Okay, so let me see. I think, unless that's it, I'm surprised I never got one comment, I don't think, about Prime Day. Did anybody, or is anybody seeing an uptick in your Prime Day? Just let me know. Let me know how your sales are doing. Up, down, sideways. How about we do that? Not even strategies. So just throw it in the comment sections. And let's see, Kels, I think Stan has a comment.
Yes, it says, I have a friend selling German toenail clippers. They sent the clippers and the toenails back to Amazon.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yep. Typical. There we go.
Hey,
there's always going to be that person. And we all know that customer that's going to game the system. And they do. That's just part of it. It's 1% of your sales, maybe a bit more. It shouldn't be anything more than 2%. And if it is, you got to make sure you count that as, as part of your cost of goods, because it's not going to go away. All right. So now I'm going to just do a quick read with my buddy Colin Campbell's book, Start, Scale, Exit, Repeat. Then we'll go into the wheel. If you haven't entered today, it's super special. 1 full year, 1 pallet at the new warehouse, tariff terminator, 10 ASINs being checked, 10 monitored for a year, and also the tariff terminator. So it's probably an $800 value. All right. Now let's talk about Start, Scale, Exit, Repeat, my buddy's book, Colin C. Campbell. He wrote a guide. No matter where you are in your entrepreneurial journey, this will help answer. So start, there's a breakdown of 4 different sections with subsections, then move into your scale, then into your exit, then into your repeat. This has been number 1 in about 15 different categories. And it's continuing to show up on the chart. It's also a multi-award winning a book, and this is published by Ford's. You can get it on Amazon or Audible in Kindle, softback, or hardcover like this one. And yeah, it's got a bit of weight to it. It's about 400 plus pages. All right, now let's go back to the wheel.
Okay, just a second. I'm just adding some people here. We got a couple new entries. So you got a little bit more time. Also, I don't think we mentioned the free credit for everyone as well. The $250 credit for the new customer.
Oh, yeah. If you're a new customer, so today, and it cuts off today, if you're a new customer, we're going to give a $250 credit on any of the services over at Honu.
All right. And so to receive that, just email savings@honuworldwide.com. And I think we've got...
And that's for storage. For storage. It's storage credit. Yep.
Hey, I have a question.
What? You want to go camping?
Before Prime Day, can you add products a day before Prime Day? Just, add products to cart, and then on Prime Day, just refresh to see if those products the prices are gonna change. Do people do that? Because that's what I did this time. I added products to cart, and I was trying to see if some are going to be less and some are going to be more. And some people are actually saying that the products price are actually, few of them are actually cost more on Prime Day than cost less. I don't know.
It's Kevin was talking about it with some of his products at Tim Jordan too. So you got Tim, Kevin, myself. We're telling people in the past that we don't play the game of reducing the price. Everybody's going out there and doing that. Now, I've kind of backtracked a bit, and depending on the price point of my product and the competition, I will play around with the price. But I have heard in some cases people actually increasing their price. I don't know what that does in sales. And by the way, Drip, it looks like today's sales were typical, maybe a little bit more. That's why I wanted you guys to answer, because I wasn't noticing any spikes over the last 2 days. Not huge spikes. Might happen later on today. I'd be interested to see what Amazon's own products are like, what their sales spikes are. But I was curious, if you're a private label seller out there, let us know, even in the WhatsApp group, okay, after the podcast today. All right, Kels, let's go to the wheel.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right. So I'm going to shuffle these up and give it a spin. If you are the winner, please email me k@lunchwithnorm.com and we'll connect you with your prize. And
Pyro.
Looks like it's Pyro.
Congrats. Kels?
Yes.
Afolabi, can we do one more?
Why not? Let's do it.
Okay, let's do one more.
Let's do it. Let's do one more.
All right, just a second.
It's coming off of Afolabi's pocket.
I'm happy to. We're in a grand opening mood.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it again.
Again, shuffle these up. Give it a spin. All right. So we got 2 winners today. Hope it doesn't land on Pyro again. And it looks like it's Stan.
Stan. Kels, you missed Rad's name, he's saying. Uh-oh.
Let's see. Oh, I swear I had it the first time. Oh, oops. Sorry, Rad.
Okay. Rad, we're going to make sure that we take care of you, okay? Just contact Kelsey. But everybody who's listening, thanks for listening to the podcast today. It is a special one for us. It's brand new. It was a launch. We wanted to talk about 3PLs in general without just pumping the new service. But I know I hate doing that, but we're excited and we wanted to give back to our community. So $250 to anybody listening today. And Rad, you contact us and we'll make sure that something else happens. Okay. All right. So that's it for today. Afolabi,
Yes, sir.
how do people get a hold of you?
Savings at Honu Worldwide.
All right, sir.
Anything
Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. I'm always happy to come here. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. We'll see you later, Afolabi.
All right, sir.
All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show today. We got a lot going on with the new facility. And we got a lot that we got to fill up, 10,000 pallets. So it's a big warehouse. We're going to do a drone fly through too. Once everything's set up, it's 70 feet high. So we've got all this racking that came in and we're just finishing that up. But anyways, it's pretty exciting. Plus we think we did it right with the co-packing and kitting, and also doing 14, 15 different formulations with the co-packing. So if you want to check that out, we are taking a few clients. We just want to do it slowly, but 3 to 5 people. And we'll do, again, they're really unique and cool formulations from Canada and the US that we've got exclusive agreements with. All right. So that's it. Kelsey, anything else?
No, I don't think so. Again, if you want to sign up for the newsletter, the links are in the description. Make sure you like and follow us. And we post all these episodes on podcast platform on the Monday too. So you can get caught up with that. And then we got our latest newsletter on Monday as well. And I think that's it.
All right. Okay, everybody. So thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So from all of us, well, from Kelsey and I, even Afolabi, we can't thank you enough for joining us today. All right. We'll see you next time.
Entrepreneur.